Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello friends, my name is Saputra. I'm from class PBEC and I'm from Department of English Education. Okay, after this I want to read this text article 6 about the title Teaching English to Visually Impaired Students and Analysis of Teachers' Problems. The authors, they are Leni Wardunina, Dian Erwina, Muhamad Holandyah, Kasih Harto, Herizal Rizki Dwi Amrina, and Nopalia. Abstract. The aim of the study was to find out the teacher's problem in teaching English to visually impaired students. The participants of the study were two English teachers at one sped school in Palembang, Indonesia. Introduction. In Indonesia, English is intended to be one of the compulsory subjects in junior high schools, senior high schools, and universities. Several previous studies reported teachers' problems in teaching English to visually impaired students. Referring to the studies above, it can be inferred that being visually impaired does not necessarily mean being unsuccessful language learners. Literature review. Visually impaired students. Visually impaired students is a disorder characterized by poor visual function that cannot be repaired by refractive correction, glasses or contact lens, medical procedures, or surgery. Nepal and Rampersad 2018. Teaching English to visually impaired students. In teaching visually impaired students, teachers ultimately should comprehend that students with vision impairment will face different kinds of fallback and ways to learn English. Problems in teaching English to visually impaired students. Teaching English to visually impaired students requires several educational considerations to accommodate their special learning needs. Lesson plan. The lesson plan needs to be made to know what is going to be taught in the class. It is one of the important parts of the teaching and learning process. Time management. Time management is an inseparable element of a school organization. Environmental issues. Environmental issues or the condition of the class can affect the teacher's quality in teaching and can cause problems for them. In addition, large class is usually hot, crowded, and noisy. Al-Obaidi and Al-Bahabdi 2017. Methodology, research design, participants, and site of the study. The study was conducted by using a qualitative approach with a case study method. The participants of the study were two English teachers at one special school in Palembang, Indonesia. Convenience sampling was taken as one of purposeful sampling strategies to select the research participants that are easy to access and inexpensive to study. Pattern 2002. Data collection and analysis, interviews, and document analysis were conducted to gain in-depth information and understanding on the subject of the study. Establishment of trustworthiness. To obtain trustworthiness of the data collected for this research, we used triangulation and number-checking techniques. Creswell 2012, Johnson and Christensen 2008, Whitman and Insimuhan 2013. Findings in reference to the data obtained from interviews and documentation. Teachers' problem in teaching English to visually impaired students were categorized into four major themes, including Time management problem. Teaching time allocation has been a crucial part of teachers' daily lesson plan for the success of English teaching and learning process. Lack of instructional materials and equipment. Another problem that the teacher had encountered was that they had very limited teaching materials for visually impaired students, such as large print book and textbook, audio software, and hardware for teaching English to students with visual impairment. Poor classroom condition. Another problem that the teacher encountered was the poor condition of the classroom. Discussion. We found that there were several problems faced by teachers in teaching English to visually impaired students at one special school in Palembang. Those consisted of A. Time management problems, B. Student attitude and behavior problems, C. Lack of instructional material for students with visual impairment, and D. Poor classroom condition. Conclusions. Based on the result of this study, there were several problems that the English teachers had encountered in teaching English to visually impaired students. The main problems were associated with time management, students' attitude and behavior, lack of instructional materials and equipment, and poor classroom condition. This problem needs to be overcome or at least minimized to give optimal learning space and opportunity for the students with visual impairment to learn English. This study makes offer basic information of problems experienced by the teachers in teaching English to students with visual impairment. Further studies might be directed to investigate other problems and also their strategies to facilitate visually impaired students in learning English. Okay, friends, I think it is enough for my reading today. If I have many mistakes, I say sorry, and to all of your apologies. See you next time. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you soon.